So if you are with me in Miami, like Ace and Bruce, and I don't know who else, I know Ace stayed. Ace, say hi to people. He stayed because he wanted to see my presentation, but disappointment is it's the same one, but it will still have the same oomph. So what does U equals U mean to me? Not just me, but to all the young women that could not be able to join us probably here today. Millions and millions of women that represent, and men and people living with HIV that could not be here today. And what does it mean for them who are in my community? Okay, so first of all, like I said in the morning, is that young people do not know what U equals U means. Most of them don't. And those who know did not get to hear it from a doctor or a healthcare provider or a physician. They got to know it from social media because probably someone who already knew about it shared, or because something was created and they shared. And they probably had it from someone, not necessarily the person or the place where they should be given the message. And we keep asking, so why is the message of hope not being given when it can clearly change lives? And I came with the young women that I work with. They're here, and you get to hear what they're going to say until we are able to bring them here to talk for themselves, right? So this is a young lady that I mentor, and she says U equals U is the message of hope for people living with HIV and the success that comes along with adherence, the victory after all those days when the drugs are a burden. They have that to look up to, and young women can lead a life without worry of infecting their partners. Our lovely Daisy says, U equals U should be advocated for, and the power and knowledge behind it. If the WHO makes this U equals U a real situation, so many relationships and families will be saved. Laura says, I think U equals U in general is a great diagnosis for people living with HIV. A new ray of sunshine and hope for us to continue adhering properly to treatment, while at the same time enjoying our healthy lives and sexual lives without fear of transmission, even to our children as women living with HIV. What now needs to be done is to ensure U equals U can reach the general public and communities at the grassroots level where stigma is most, to break the myth that a PLHIV is always infectious and susceptible, weak, or vulnerable to infections and diseases. And with this in mind, ICASO supported few women from all over the world in all our diversities to come up with a community brief like 3-4 months ago. And in this brief, it's 100% written by women living with HIV, and it mostly tries to demand that we look at U equals U in a gender lens. You can hear in every young woman who is speaking, there's that aspect of partner and there's that aspect of babies, children. Because these are young women who are vertically transmitted, and they're now not young anymore. They're not adolescents. They're getting into relationships. They want to enjoy fulfilling sexual lives. And with this message, they get to do that without fear. Consolata says, at least she's here with us, probably not in the room, but she's in the conference. U equals U gives young people who acquired HIV through vertical transmission like me a sense of normalness. For the first time, I'm not afraid of infecting someone else because I'm virally suppressed. I can finally have a fear-free relationship. I am the safest relationship any guy can have. Aww. And you should know, in our ICASO community brief, we collected 65 plus stories. I'm hoping we'll get to launch it here in this conference. And one of the things that we said was, We want to celebrate sexual pleasure for women living with HIV as empowering and reaffirming the power of our own bodies, at the same time advocating for our sexual and reproductive rights and justice, inclusive of a woman's right to birth control and safe and legal abortions. Gracie says, my undetectable viral load equals zero transmission of HIV. I do not know about you, but these words brings joy to my heart. I feel like it's the best reward of me being afferent. Also, my partner does not have to worry much if a condom bursts. Hope the society will really embrace this. It is a way to go for having an unstigmatization society. I love that these few women that I came with know what you cause you is, but some, I don't know why I didn't even put it in the slides, didn't know. They were like, what is that? Are you sure? Is that even something real? Can it really be? And even more so, my friends who are negative, we find they really are questioning this, and we can't have it out there enough. And also, one other thing we had is increase in the brief, increase, improve, and guarantee access to treatment for everyone living with HIV everywhere to reach 100. Treatment is still a barrier. Some people have to walk miles to get to their clinic. That is still something that's happening. Some people don't even know why they are taking this medication. It's not easy. It's not fun taking drugs. I don't know. Have you ever been on some prescription? Probably I'm in the room where we all know what taking drugs daily means. But if you haven't, it's not a walk in the park, right? And we still have these issues where we are dealing with the DTG issue in Africa, where we can't get DTG as women in the reproductive age. Oh. I already have a daughter. I don't think I want to have another child, and I can know when I want to get pregnant or not. And just being put over that blanket makes it so easy for us not to get to viral suppression, making sure that you're not getting to undetectable, and making sure because you is not working. We need to work on that as well. Even as we are getting this message out, we also need to ensure that girls and young women are getting the best treatment out there. And I brought also a guy, because I'm that sweet. And he says, Victor, personally speaking, when I got to know about the UU, it was a great relief. I knew stigma among discordant couples will reduce, and we can all marry whoever we want without the fear of transmission, of which we still need more sensitization on. Yes. Maybe us as people living with HIV know what U equals U means, but our partners who are negative don't know. And not unless this is normalized, U equals U is as normal as brush your teeth 3 times a day is, then probably people living with HIV will never be accepted as much as we would want them to. And lastly, our beautiful Brenda says, everyone needs to understand that you might be HIV infected but not infectious, because U equals U is an advocacy strategy to prevent HIV transmission and stigma reduction. Reducing stigma will improve rates of HIV testing, new diagnosis, and early treatment. This is the future. Open the conversation. Open the conversation. I mean, these young ladies are too bright. I was making these slides and thinking, wow, if this is the information that everyone could know, I think we're also part scientists as well, right? With all this information, somehow we are scientists as well. And one other thing we had in the brief is include vertical transmission research in the U equals U and acknowledge women's bodies and their work in the foundation of what we know as the U equals U movement. Probably that's up to you, Bruce. Acknowledge women.